All right. So our next pairing is Cats versus Barbarella. Cats, the much maligned film adaptation of the stage musical based on T.S. Eliot's book, Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats, introduces us to the Jellicle cats one by one as they aspire to be chosen to be the cat who is allowed to ascend to the Heaviside Layer and into a new Jellicle life. Perhaps that's the fate of the Logan's Run people, too.
I didn't know you were going to say that. Very good. Barbarella is based on a French comic book character. Who knew? Anyhow, Jane Fonda is Barbarella, and she is naked a fair amount in space. And then the president of the Earth assigns her to find the scientist Duran Duran. Yes, this is where the band got their name, but they spell it differently. They want to find Duran Duran because he has created a weapon that can destroy the Earth. So she needs to find him and stop him. Along the way, there's a fair amount of free love, a pleasure machine that she can overcome with her sexual prowess, and an angel named Pygar, who can't fly until her magical sexual powers frees him of that, and he can fly and save the day. So it is definitely a product of its time. However, your description of Cats is the most cohesive version of Cats that I've ever heard. I guess.
Okay, so the thing about Cats, the stage musical, is it's more or less a review. It's more or less a review with, and anyone who's ever been in Cats before, I have not, but I have many friends who have, will say that there's a tightly woven world of relationships and personalities and competitiveness, and there's a lot going on subtextually behind it. And I will say, because this may be the last nice thing I say about this movie, that there is sort of a through line. They've established this character who is kind of the glue that holds it together, and we're seeing it through her eyes, and we're watching as each cat displays their talent or, their objective or whatever, so that they can get, I don't really know, it's like a voting process or whatever, but they get chosen to ascend to the next life, cat life or whatever.
It's fucking unbearable.
It is unbearable. And it's not like, whatever you think about the musical.
But we should just take that off the plate. This isn't that. Like, it has to be on its
that.
own thing.
I was going to say, whatever you think about the musical, this is terrible.
Yeah.
This is a terrible film.
I saw it on Broadway in, I think, 88. When I first came to New York, I saw it with Margrethe and her family, and it was delightful. I'm like, cats, come out. They're dancing. It's fucking wonderful.
We saw it with Eric Kang and Tim Gallant.
Absolutely. And it was totally fine as a stage thing. But this movie tries to impose some sort of plot, which you delightfully explained. It is insane. When she unzips her cat outfit and there's a different cat outfit underneath, gross, weird, they're eating fucking bugs.
Also, the decisions behind kind of everything, the design, the special effects, the way they shot the dance numbers, none of it makes any sense, which adds to the crazy feeling of it.
It made me really angry, like, watching it, because of the level of talent that's involved. Like, the director is a really fine director, and then run down the cast. It's like a fucking cavalcade of people who are industry pros, who really, really know how to make movies, and I just really know what they're doing.
Just shout out to Sir Ian McKellen, who's very lovely in it. He's very lovely.
They're all doing fine stuff, but it's all to no effect. And this is really not a discussion of whether a movie's good or not. We shouldn't do that.
You're right.
It's like, what's crazier? And I'm going to make an argument. Barbarella is completely batshit bananas.
Yeah.
I talked a lot about the free love in there, and there's a fair amount of it. And I'll bet you had forgotten the fucking orgasm machine that she...
I did. I forgot.
Yeah, but it's there. Like, they're like, oh, we'll overcome. But no, her sexual prowess is such that she's able to break the machine.
Sort of nice, isn't it?
Can't take it anymore. Taps out. So that movie is bananas. It's got the fucking angel, like that beautiful guy who can fly but then not fly. The creepy kids on the ice.
Oh, God, and the dolls with the fangs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird, and it also feels episodic in a way. I had never seen it before, so as I was watching it, and she went into her next adventure, it just felt like, whoa, where am I being taken now, which adds to the crazy.
So when I was looking this up and I saw that it was based on a comic, I wonder if that's where it comes from, is that there's some episodic nature that they took like a bunch of comics and slammed it together. So like she's off on this adventure and then this adventure, and they just loosely tied it together with the Duran Duran pursuit. But it's not.
Are we saying that Barbarella is a crazier film?
I think Barbarella is a crazier film.
Yeah. I feel like Cats maybe made me feel crazier.
I just think it's a worse film, and it made me angry to watch like all those amazing people. And this is a shout out to, like, because I come from a post-production world, the level of absolute artistic geniuses that had to go to work every day to make that fur fluff up in the wind as they're dancing, and just the artistry of those people on display is extraordinary, and it made me frustrated because it was to no effect.
Yeah.
Whereas you see a movie like, for instance, Life of Pi, which also has amazing post-production effects work going on to a greater end. Like, listen, that's a different story because of what happened with that studio.
You digress.
I digress. But it is in service of a good movie, whereas this is incredible amounts of work in service of garbage. And I can't think for a second that none of those people went to the screenings or the test screenings along the way and didn't go, what the fuck are we doing? What have we done?
Well, and I would say that is what makes it feel crazy, is that element of what is happening here in a way that doesn't feel intentional, whereas the craziness of Barbarella feels intentional. It feels a part of the piece, which makes it feel, I guess, more crazy in total. I think Barbarella wins.
I think so too, but it's just by a hair. Like
by a hair.
By a hair.
This is a good matchup.
Yeah, it's a good matchup. I think that, yeah, even within the own world, the free love world in which Barbarella exists, it's its own level of nuttiness. I think Barbarella is crazier than Cats.
Barbarella's crazier than Cats.
Also, I would watch Barbarella again. I will never watch Cats again.
We hope you'll return for a pairing completely free of CGI'd cats in Episode 8, Dogtooth versus Return to Oz.